ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force behind be efficient and perfect. All is verily the one without second, ever blissful, ever perfect, all pervading existence itself, called Brahman. May I never deny the Brahman, this oneness of existence. Let the Brahman never reject me either. May all the virtues necessary to experience this truth and which are proclaimed in the Upanishads be with me. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us try to feel this truth of Brahman, where everything becomes one, by feeling that we are, each of us, one ice cube in a huge heap of ice cubes. I think I am one ice cube. I am proud of my shape. My size, my angularities. I get connected with other ice cubes. Some become my parents, as it were. Some become siblings. Some are friends, colleagues, neighbors, and other known people. Some become enemies too. And a vast majority of ice cubes in this huge heap. I don't know them. Surrounded by warm weather. This heap of ice cubes is melting. In spite of myself trying to hold on to my size and shape, I see I am changing. I am vanishing. So also all the other ice cubes too. All becomes water, one without second. All is verily the one, whether melted or solid. It is all one. This knowledge and experience brings cessation of all sufferings and the bliss which is intrinsic to me, to all. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, dear friends, let us begin today's discussion on this great Purana. We saw the meaning of Purana, where the philosophical truths are elucidated through various interesting, enchanting stories. So, that is how they become easily understandable, acceptable. They go deep because stories, we like them. So, through those stories, when these truths are given, then they go deep. Philosophy is kind of, difficult to focus on for most of us. It is read a difficult, abstruse spirit, that philosophical text, and then soon the world starts moving around us, head starts spinning, and we fall asleep. So, for that purpose they can be used, but for understanding the truth, such abstruse philosophical treatises become difficult. But the same truths, when told through stories, we appreciate them. Here we were studying last time this story of Nimi. But before we catch up with it, let us have our a regular peace chant, opening peace chant. It is not connected, Abhijit, here. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient and is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists, just as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So, this was in the discussion of the kings, emperors from the solar dynasty. One branch of solar dynasty was described earlier, and this is the Nimi, who was also a son of Ikshvaku. His lineage is described. His birth was a very strange one, and then he, as we saw, was cursed by the family priest Vasishtha, because Vasishtha told that I will fulfill one another commitment I have got and then will become the priest for your this sacrifice. But Nimi decided not to wait because life is evanescent. So let us finish the work at hand while there is still the capacity to do it. We many times postpone or put the things off, waiting unnecessarily for some other occasion. Let us do it later. But it is good not to procrastinate. Procrastination is a characteristic of what is called tamas, tamoguna, where lethargy and this irritating temperament and desire to just keep on quarreling, not doing anything substantial or worth doing. These are the characteristics of tamas. Ignorance is its basis, and it expresses itself in many ways. One of them is procrastination. Later on I will do it. That is why people, although understand the need and the value of spiritual practice, the tendency is, okay, let me do it later. I have many other things to do now. Later on, When I become old, then I will do it. And in old age, it becomes difficult. I had told you that incident when a young man was talking to one of our Swamis in Pune. And then he told that Swami, well, are these things to be taken up, studied, and practiced in the old age? This control of senses is so difficult during the young age. When I become old, then it will be easier. Many are under this wrong impression that Swami said, when you get old, let alone controlling the senses and mind, controlling your number one to number two will be difficult. So, because that is how the old age is. So, therefore, don't procrastinate. An important message that comes in this, that do it now. Keep this ideal. We must keep this idea. Should be done now. Why not now? There is no reason for not doing it now. Only feeling lethargic. So we put it off. Tomorrow, afterwards let us see. And this tendency further makes us full of this tamas or inertia, and we do not do anything that needs to be done. So this becomes a nature, putting things off to tomorrow, which never comes. There is this that quality of tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Next day again you say tomorrow, tomorrow, manana, isn't it? Manana. That is what one man told me in Argentina. That why do we not progress? Because of this tendency. Manana, tomorrow, we will do it tomorrow. That never comes. So, therefore, this Nemi decided to go ahead. When Vasishtha returned after the one commitment and saw that the sacrifice is already being conducted through some other priest, he became very angry, upset, and then cursed Nimi that you will fall dead right here. And Nimi also pronounced the same counter curse, you will fall dead. And then, yes, Nimi fell dead, and Vasishtha also fell dead. But the priests assembled, they continued with that sacrifice ritual, embalming the body of the king Nimi, kept it like that in some oil and other things so that it remains intact. And then after the sacrifice was done, they all prayed to all the deities, all those, that if you are powerful, make this King Nimi's body alive. And all those celestial beings, they said, okay, we can do it. And then as they were about to make that King Nimi alive, they heard Nimi saying, no, no, I don't want to be in the body. As you see, it is written here, if you are powerful and are pleased with the sacrifice, may Nimi's body become alive. Nimi refused. saying that he does not need any body. Wise ones do not desire for a body, knowing that it is evanescent. Moreover, becomes the cause of all sufferings, attachment to body. You identify that I am body, which is a completely false thing. But the attraction of the body, and we identify that yes, see how it goes. I am this body. How false it is. How can I, the conscious entity, never changing, can become this heap of flesh, blood, and whatnot, and that too constantly changing. How I can become that, one doesn't think, and then gets identified with it, and then all this, for example, I am this body, then I am a man, then I would require a woman. I feel imperfection, so let me have somebody else. And then things keep on becoming more and more complicated, bringing in more entanglement, more suffering. So, therefore, the wise ones, he says, do not aspire for a body. It is it is bondage, and the one of the main ideas in the Vedantic thought is that the goal is to go beyond body, not to have this birth. After this birth, I don't want to return to a physical existence. That is called liberation, the idea of liberation. Never to be tied by this transmigration, as it is described. In many texts, Shankaracharya describes it in his very famous, well-known hymn, that Bhaja Govindam, that what happens? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Again and again you die, you are born again, take another body, and thus go through the same rigmarole of suffering, getting attached, and so forth. And therefore, there it is said, Yeh samsare bahudustare krupaya pare pahi murare. It is so difficult to get out of this bondage. So, O Lord Murari, the one who killed the demon Mura, so please bless me and take me out of this terribly dirty mire that I am stuck in. So this is the prayer. And Nimi said, okay, no, enough of the body. No more body for me. And all the deities became pleased and then gave a special boon that you will be still on the eyelids of every creature. That is why when in Sanskrit the closing and opening of the eyes, this is called nimisha, that the nimish, that because of this nimish, so it is that blinking of eyes is called nimish. So that is how it is also described as a great way, as an image for meditation in Kenopanishad. That, see, when the lids are open, you have the world. But it is so evanescent. You close, it is gone. All the visuals is gone. Open, it is there. Closed, it is gone. So it is to see that it is not real. It is just comes and goes. So, therefore, this idea is emphasized here. And then, Nimi, his body was dead. He had no child. So, there the sages who were performing the sacrifice ritual saw that there will be terrible anarchy, fear of anarchy, chaos, lawlessness, disorder. That is anarchy. It ensures all this social fabric gets completely destroyed. So that is how the anarchy is. It is stated in some of the old Hindu texts like Manusmriti that even the king is bad, it is better than having anarchy. Some kind of order at least is there, some time of type of social fabric. Anarchy is there is anarchism, means some like to have anarchy because of the tyranny of this tyranny of many kings. It hurts them. Many get hurt by the established social norms and things. They feel that this society, in this society, they get the short end of the stick, and so better than be, let there be just anarchy. It is therefore vociferously tell, destroy all institutions, let them be gone. Our Charlie sometimes used to be a advocate of such things because of some companies that, oh, denounce this, let all the banks be gone. Okay, it is what substitute do you have? No, no substitute needed. It is, but when the consequences appear, they backtrack, No, 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 not that. It is so many such things that, okay, that you are hurt by certain evils in the system. But that doesn't mean system itself should be thrown away unless you have something better. First find out some better system. Then you see, get rid of the old and substitute the new in that place. That should be the way that the sages prescribe. So anarchy is very bad for the in general human life. Human, they are all, as we know, everybody agrees, and we are social animals. We live in society. It is for those creatures who do not need to live in society. They do not have to worry about this king and the political systems, and that in general any social fabric is not necessary for those who live like a solitary life, not in society. So, for them it is all right. There must be some creatures who are like that. Do you know, Rajgopal, which are solitary creatures. They do not live in society. There are some, but I can immediately I do not recall. So these, but for humans, it is a social being. So we live in society, and thus we need an order to control the society. Everybody unto oneself, then there cannot be any society, and therefore the conclusion is there cannot be human beings, because human being basically is a social animal. If you remove society, no human beings either. So that is why the fear of anarchy, no king, because Nimi had no children. So if Nimi dies now, who is going to take over? And it is, those days it was the prerogative of the sages, the wise people, to therefore find a way before the things go out of hand. So they decided, let us produce a son from Nimi's this dead body. Ah, see, Paul, what an endeavor, isn't it? That Nimi is dead. Now let us use his body. From that body we will produce a son. And how did they do it? Well, I don't know whether physiologically it is possible, but these are, great sages. They make many things possible which are for us not at all possible. It is, if you are shown it is possible theoretically, that is a different thing. But that one nice story, it is, I think, in the that very popular book of Paramhans Yogananda. What is that book? Autobiography of a Yogi. So he, thank you, it tells one man went to a very, supposed to be a very great sage, staying somewhere in Himalayas. So goes there, and then the sage just puts hand like this, and a sweet comes in his hand and tells that take this prasad. And he was a man of some learning of science and common. This is a commonly, this will be seen as miracle. And said, how could you do this? He said, look, this sweet, what it is composed of, the same elements that air is composed of. So if you know how to do the conversion, then you can do it. How? If you know how to convert, then you can do it. Like some ingredients that we had some nice idli preparation the other day. Now, those ingredients, if they are kept just like that, if you don't know how to make it, then you will consider a miracle how that became this. If you have the knowledge, then you can do it. So if we don't have the knowledge, and we therefore disbelieve also those who have it. No, they must be, this is some sleight of hands. At, say, imagine about 40 years ago or 50 years ago, that somebody just takes out the phone from the pocket, say here in Providence, and while riding in a car, dials to somebody in Japan, starts talking to somebody in Japan. Could you have believed that? No, this is not possible. But now people do like that. It is a daily occurrence that we see that you can talk like that. So now, at that times, if somebody had the capability, would have been termed miracle. Not a miracle, the knowledge as it develops, things which hitherto were considered not feasible become feasible. So, therefore, this birth of Nimi's son through what? So the sages churned the lifeless body of Nimi to produce a son, churning that body. So, thus, a son was born to Nimi. This son became very, very famous. So, this son was known through three different names. Because of the very unusual birth. You don't see that somebody is born by churning a dead body like that. So it is an unusual birth. So he got the name Janaka. Janaka means father. What it means is he has no father. He was just born in a different manner. So he is the father. How father can become somebody's name? It is because this he was born like that without having a father or mother. So thus he got the name Janaka. Or second thing is born of someone who had abandoned the body, he got the name Videha. Videha, Deha means body. Vi means negation, that no, has no body, no sense of body. So Janaka gets called Videha. All these names you read in our these Puranas and other texts. Janaka is called Videha. So has nothing to do body. He is not an embodied thing. So works from the body but not caught in a body. That is Videha. So thus there is that very famous saying that he says that in the fire, even if the whole city of Mithila is burned, nothing, I don't lose anything because nothing belongs to me anyway. So how can I lose? It is, I don't, nothing belongs to me. So it is, I don't lose anything because my wealth is infinite. Uh, my wealth is infinite. The word infinite, Ananta, there is a pun on it. Ananta means the name of God. One of the Vishnu's names is Ananta and means also infinite. Connected words actually. God is infinite. So, Ananta. And thus he says, my wealth is infinite. And so, why my wealth is infinite? Because I don't have any wealth. If you say that I have $5 million, then your wealth is only limited, just $5 million. Not, can go away any time. So it is, but if your wealth is infinite, why? Everybody can have infinite wealth. Do you see Tilakji? You can have infinite wealth. When will you have infinite wealth? When there is nothing mine. When you have this knowledge that nothing is mine, then you have infinite wealth. Nothing is mine, so everything is mine, It is so. Thus, and therefore he says, even if the whole this very beautiful and prosperous city of Mithila is burned, nothing of mine gets burned. So this is how he was Videha. No association with body, and therefore was a person of great wisdom. And the third reason, because he was born from churning, he got the name Mithila. Mithila. Mithil, that process of churning is called this uh, mitha. To means to mix, to churn, to put things, in a different shape. So Mithila. So he, because he was made out of such process, he got the name Mithila, and his kingdom was then called Mithila. That is how this Janaka. And he became, you will find many Vedic texts, Upanishads, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is full of the dialogues with Yajnavalkya and Janaka. Yajnavalkya is the sage in that Upanishad, a person of infinite wisdom and the knowledge of the ultimate reality, Yajnavalkya. And there is this great king Janaka. So Yajnavalkya comes there, and there is a discussion between the two. And also, in one incident, one whole section in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is how various great scholars and sages ask very pointed questions to Yajnavalkya. So they are very interesting things, that this is Yajnavalkya at the court of Janaka. And amongst others, the great scholarly and brilliant lady asked him profound questions. The incident is very interesting. That Janaka declared one day, he was a king and had lots of cows. So he said, the one who is the wisest amongst all of you, the most learned, I give all these cows. Yajnavalkya, nobody was saying that I am the most learned. How can you say? Yajnavalkya didn't say such anything like that. He only said to his disciples, hey, come on, take the cows to our hermitage. Take these cows. And then naturally, the others looked at him with, this question, who are you? You haven't proved that you are wisest amongst us. How can you take? And then Yajnavalkya, that shows the wisdom. He says, I don't know about it. I just wanted cows, so I told, take away. But if you think that I am not worthy of taking these cows, then you ask me questions. So the onus is now on you. That I know everything or not, or I know more than you know. Ask questions and find out. And then one after other, everybody is asking such brilliant questions. And Yajnavalkya comes out with brilliant answers. Wonderful questions. And then amongst them was a lady also. It is, interesting to see that this lady was so well versed in scriptures. Her name was Gargi. Gargi Vachaknavi. She came from the sage Vak, so her name got Vachaknavi, Gargi Vachaknavi. So she also asked many questions, uh, one after another. One interesting discussion was with Gargi that uh, what is where everything is resting. Uh, Utascha protascha, that what is this earth resting in? Then he replies that, well, it is resting in the air. Where is this air resting? In space. Where is the space resting? And like that goes on, it is resting in the mind. But where does the mind rest? The ultimate reality is being sought. They are very interesting answers. And Shankara's commentary on that is tremendously elucidating, full of great sublime fervor. So ultimately, that he says everything rests in Atman. And then where does the Atman rest? Don't ask this question, because Atman is everything. Everything rests in Atman. But you ask then, okay, don't continue it anymore. Like, then where does the Atman exist? About earth, you can say, where does the earth exist? Okay, here. Where does that Vayu, the air exist? In this. Where does that exist? Okay, in mind. Where does the mind? Up to all that is fine. But when this all exists in Atman, don't ask where does the Atman exist, because that is everywhere, that pervades everything, and yet is not bound by anything. It is that Atman is the reality. So that was one very illuminating discussion. Is there many such discussions are there about 10 or 11 people, all very scholarly, and they asked this Gargi, after asking one question, tells everybody else, now I have tested him, and I see that nobody amongst you is capable of confounding him through your questions. He is really all knower. So there is this, and then there is the dialogue in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad between Yajnavalkya and Janaka himself, about same, about what is the light that we see in, what is our light. And the answer is that common answer Yajnavalkya gives, that in the light of sun. But like now, if the sun is now beyond the horizon, it is set, then how do we see? Maybe the light of moon and light of stars. But if moon is not there, light is not, the stars are also all just blocked by the clouds, then how do we see? How do we see? Then the answer is very beautiful, that we see with our other organs, that like a blind man, we become blind. If there is no light, we are blind. So then by touch, by other organs, touch, smell, sound, we see that it is that once it was all dark, and then there was nothing visible as I suddenly asked, "Hey Charlie, welcome." Charlie, well, how? Because I heard the steps of Charlie. He has a way. Everybody has a way of walking. I heard this, hey Charlie. So was I seeing? Yes and no. Not by eyes. I was seeing through the ears. So it is like that. One can see through touch. It is. You must have seen people, the blind, they walk with the stick. They move the stick to see around what is there. So he says, with other organs, suppose if other organs also are not there, the question goes further. Then Yajnavalkya says, one sees with mind, like one sees in dream. One sees with mind. Then, if mind is also not there, then how do we see? I am fast forwarding a little bit. Says that one sees by the Atman. And don't say if Atman is not there. Atman is ever present. Ever present. And it is self-illumined. It is actually the light of Atman through which all the mind and all the other organs, they function. That Atman being ever present everywhere and self-luminous. Nothing can light Atman, but everything that you see lighted gets lit by the light of Atman. That it is, as we chant in the Arati, that Jyotira Jyoti Ujjala Hridikandar, you are the light of all lights. O Lord, you are the light of all lights. In Kathopanishad, that idea is presented, that it is that everything, nothing can illumine you. You illumine everything. It is na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhati, kutoyam agnihi, तमेव भांतम अनुभाति सर्वम tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati, that it is nothing can shine light you, because you are the light that they are all dependent upon. Sun doesn't shine there, moon doesn't shine. What to speak of this lighting? What to speak of these our lights that we are using? But tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. That is illumined, and thus by that illumination all this gets illumined. That is Atman. So the very beautifully presented discussion. So that, and then this is mentioned in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Janaka and Shuka, their narrative. And Shuka, a very saintly person, sage, comes to Janaka to get education. Janaka, please teach me. Janaka says, oh, no problem, but first give me the fees. I want, and you have to pay the fees first. Then we will see. Shuka said, I will give fees, but why in the beginning? After the education is done, then I will give the fee. What problem? Janaka said that, you see, when the education will be imparted, the difference between the teacher and the disciple will vanish. You will come to the same state as I am. And then who is going to give then the fees? So therefore give it beforehand. I love this story so much. It shows the tremendous efficacy of this knowledge of Brahman, that the knower of the Brahman becomes Brahman. Nobody, it is our Rajgopal can say, I know the imaging science, but he doesn't become imaging science. You know something, somebody knows carpentry, doesn't become carpentry. Tilakji will say, I know the problems of lung and all that. So, but that doesn't make him become that. But the knowledge of Brahman is such, Brahmaved, Brahmaiva Bhavati, that the knower of Brahman, what? Becomes Brahman. Why? Because that is the truth. Already we are Brahman. By not knowing it, we think I am so and so, I am so and so, and suffer. By the knowing Brahman, that truth gets revealed that I am Brahman. And therefore, then you won't pay anything, there is whom to pay. So, therefore, to impart this truth very poetically, Janaka says, first fees. Then later on there will be nobody remaining to pay the fees. So pay the fees now. So this is how the Janaka became very, very famous all over the, the Indian scriptural lore. And this, it is told, his son was Udavasu. He is again Nandi. There is a big list of all the lineage from Janaka. We know Janaka as a great, person in Ramayana. Rama's wife was Janaka's daughter. So she got the name Maithili or Janaki. So Janaki, because Janaka's daughter, but not born as such. She was born of earth while Janaka was tilling on some first auspicious day. The king has to till the soil for farming. It is rituals, it is followed even now in many places, that they take a golden plough and then till the land. So then everybody else, all the workers, they join. So when Janaka was tilling the land like that, he found a box, and in that box was a little small girl. So he took that girl, and so that girl became known as Sita. So all this is the Janaka's stories are filled, but then it is all the list of the children. So now Shuka, here this is being narrated by Shuka to Parikshit. So Shuka concludes, these kings of Mithila were versed in the knowledge of the Atman and remained free from attachments ever, even while living as householders, owing to the grace of great yoga teachers like Yajnavalkya. So they lived like that. So next will come now. This is the end of description of solar dynasty. And next we will see the great ones from the lunar dynasty. So that we will start on next Friday. Today we will close first with these prayers. The opening verse that we do is the first verse. This is the third verse. Nigam kalpataror galitam phalam शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्हो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Anybody has any question? Hey, just wait, he will bring the microphone to you. It's on, hold it like that.
You mentioned that
That it is not your fault.
you mentioned that Ananta is the name of God, and you also said it meant something. Could you repeat what Ananta means?
Huh? Ananta. Ananta is the name of God. Ananta means infinite.
It means infinity.
Infinite.
Thank you.
Anta means end. That which has no end, that is called Ananta. God has no beginning, no end. That is why one of the names of God is Ananta. It comes right in the beginning of the Vishnu Sahasranam also. Anantam Purushottamam. So it is, Ananta is thus the name of God. Everything else what has beginning and end. So they are not Ananta, they are Antas. Whereas God has neither beginning nor end, therefore God's name is Ananta. Thank you. Any other question here? Any question upstairs? No question. So let us conclude with the closing prayers. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल, हरि हरि बोल. कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल. केशव माधव हरि हरि